Alright, another day in video land or whatever. Okay, I did notice, there's very few comments on my videos, but on other people's videos, people do argue and such. I think there wasn't actually an argument on one of my videos between a couple of people. Yeah, but no, couldn't be that because I blocked that fucker. Well, anyway, some aspartame guy or whatever is always talking trash on somebody's video about me, blah, blah, blah. It's just this stupid misparaphrasing of the argument. Sort of stating that, I can't even restate it. But anyway, this idea that desire has something to do with suffering, and those two things are not the same thing. Pleasure and suffering, or pain, good feelings versus bad feelings incurred, those things might have something to do with each other. But desire by itself is kind of a fudgy word, because it has to do with deprivation, sometimes very hard deprivation, which is bad. And also it can be the good kind of desire where, you're 10 feet away from, the ice cream stand, and you have money in your pocket. And, so your desire is going to get satisfied. And so then desire is kind of fun, maybe. But really it's just the motivating force, and that's the thing that's important here, is that it's a corruption of perception. It's a definer of value, desire is, and fear. And both of those have been in nature's control. It's not like I'm exaggerating the reason to be afraid. No. Nature's gives you fear of, it doesn't really give you much explicitly defined fear, but you're going to be conditioned soon enough to be apprehensive about anything associated with something painful or unpleasant. And so again, the script is under its control, and unpleasant isn't going to be like unpleasant to the world or bad for everybody. No, it's going to be what's bad for you. That's what you're going to be afraid of. That's what you're going to be revolted by. And some of that stuff is just going to be weird. It's like, why should it be revolting for us to watch open heart surgery? I mean, it can make people faint. There's definitely something going on in our old historic biology that says, there's something creepy about guts. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. It's a whole nother facet of human psychology, and not really relevant to the point I'm maybe going to try to make here, if I get to it. So anyway, I'm just going to reinforce the argument that desire is a corrupt definer of value innately, as generated in the average human. Desire is, the DNA talking. It's the demands of the consuming and reproducing organism, the agenda of, let's say. And it doesn't have much to do with anything intellectual. It's really takes real hard work sometimes to get your personal horny desire mechanism to match up with your intelligent sensibilities. You have to really work towards that sometimes, because you're not going to want to do the right thing very often. You usually want to do the selfish thing and, just crazy things. Stick penis in vagina. I mean, it sounds kind of okay, but it's kind of loony. But, obviously it makes sense reproductive-wise. And we're biologically made for it to result in gratification. But I mean, intellectually, objectively, there's not much to say yeah, there's purpose in that beyond those ambitions, reproduction and such. So anyway, the real point is that you can't put suffering, human suffering or animal suffering or individual suffering on one side of the scale, and then put somebody's desire on the other side and say, see, the desire is stronger. That's not a fair fight. That's an addiction fight. It's not rational. It's not. You're not going to get the truth by doing that. You're going to get the inevitable result that will happen when you have an addicted animal. I mean, it happens to lab rats all the time. They're always putting them in these stupid experiments, and they addict them to nicotine, and then they offer them food for a moment. They open a little gate with food in it, and then they open a little gate with nicotine in it, and the poor little rats say, oh god damn, I want my nicotine. And so they go to the nicotine first, and they miss out on the food, and they end up starving to death because they're addicted, and that desire becomes strong. And that's what we are. Once we're here, we're a machine that is biologically oriented, mechanically built. It actually has like buttons on the dashboard. It actually has blinky lights and stuff devoted to the purpose of keeping us doing this, moving, going forward, eating, consuming, stuff in one end, stuff out the other end. Keep us swarming through this living humus. And yeah, we've got parts, we've got mechanisms built into our, not only the physical part, but the controller part, little dashboard parts that say do, go, do, push, and that's a corruption. It's not intelligence. It's just a flat corruption. What's the right word? There's a word for that. But anyway, gotta switch hands. Sorry, tie around my finger. All right. Yeah, it just breaks the. You can't. Since we're built to want to live, we're built at least to want what living provides. I mean, we can't get laid if we're dead. You can't get laid from the afterlife, at least in most scenarios. It's very difficult. Yeah, so you got to do it here. You got to chase it here. And if somebody threatens to take the game away, and you're addicted to the game, well, of course it's going to seem like the wrong thing to do. But the perspective people have to have isn't whether or not they need to live, or they want to live, or they want to accomplish something that living makes possible. The question is, would you put some poor other sucker in this circumstance? Would you addict another rat to the nicotine, so it goes through this stupid ballet of pointlessness and futility? Because the other side of this desire equation is that you must know you're really hard to satisfy. I mean, permanently. Have you ever been permanently satisfied? I don't think so. It has this very brief lifespan, satisfaction and joy, and then it's over. The birthday's over, or Christmas is over, and the ribbon ends up in the garbage can, and the confetti and the balloons, and you shit your chocolate cake, and that's it. It's over. The party's over, and you're back in the wanting game again, chasing. And it's such a messy chase. I mean, look at the world we have. God damn it. Everybody is just so greed obsessed and self-obsessed. They'll spill billions of gallons of crap into the fucking ocean because they're just so hungry for a little more, a little extra. wanting a little more satisfaction and never being willing to pay for it. Man, that shit just doesn't work. This doesn't work. Humanity doesn't work. And everybody with a brain should be telling other people, yeah, don't have kids, asshole. Do us a favor. We can't win. So quit pretending, you're capable or competent. How you doing? Keep up.
Are you making a video?
Yeah, YouTube thing,
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I just got an account, so I make a video a day. Yeah. Yeah, just a citizen of the town.